Team building is the tool used by managers and leaders to bring their individual team members together as a unit. By hosting effective team building events, you are encouraging employees to connect, collaborate, and to build better relationships. Team building is a buzzword used a lot in business, but few team building events or approaches actually make an impact. In order to have effective team building events and activities, you need to know both the practical and theoretical side of this activity. Today we're going to look at the impact that team building has on a team. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. And with that, today we're going to look at team building tools. We're going to look at team building, virtual team building, and then practical team building tools and activities that you can use in the workplace right now. So let's look at the first section. Team building is a process of turning a group of individual contributing employees into a cohesive team, a group of people organized to work together to meet the needs of their customers by accomplishing their purpose and goals. So what is team building? Team building creates a stronger bond among the team members of a group. The individual members respect each other and their differences and share common goals and expectations. Team building can include the daily interaction that employees engage in when working together to carry out their requirements for their jobs. This form of team building is natural and can be assisted if the group takes the time to come up with a set of team norms. These norms help group members to know how to appropriately interact on the team level and within the rest of the organization. Team building can also involve structured activities and exercises led by team members. If you're looking at external sources, a third party will host the team building events and work with your team to create activities that will help your team grow. But why does team building work? Well, often team members or managers will facilitate a series of meetings at which employees get to know each other and develop cohesive working relationships. According to the Balanced Careers, in a larger organization development can lead to team development sessions. Many human resources practitioners are also comfortable leading team building sessions. And with a little practice, teams can also get to know each other when they partake within this group session. Team building events doesn't always have to be a facilitated meeting to accomplish a goal or be cohesive. It can be part of your company culture and the way that you approach everything. You can build your team by structuring activities and fun events that team members can do together. So let's look at some of the top reasons as to why you need to invest in team building. According to the Corporate Finance Institute, in a team building setting, the purpose of rules governing the team building events are made clear to the members at the beginning. Tasks are delegated to the members depending on their strengths, experiences, and skills. This helps the members to work towards accomplishing the main team goals. Next up, nothing motivates an underperforming team to work harder than healthy competition. Most team building activities involve different teams competing to achieve a specific goal. And the odds are that the members will be driven to give their team the best possible chance to win. This not only motivates employees, but it also encourages them to apply these practices and these principles in the workplace. Competition is a great way to increase employees' productivity and for everyone to communicate better because everyone has the same goals that they would like to achieve. Whenever employees were asked to work together on a task, they often communicate through email or online chat forums. While this can be efficient, face-to-face interactions often has valuable benefits. Not only does it help to reduce confusion, it makes working together a social experience and something that employees would like to do. So as you can see, all of these reasons are related back to the business. All team building events and activities aim to create a better workforce, and in doing so, the company benefits in terms of productivity, cohesiveness, creativity, innovation, and your team becomes stronger in the long run. But there are different types of team building events, and you are going to distinguish between the types when you are setting up your own team building event or activity. According to team building technology, there are a wide variety of pursuits available, from conventional ones such as canoeing, rock climbing, to more unusual ones, such as blind four-wheel driving or sheep driving. but these can be expensive. So companies keep this in mind when they select outdoor activities. And physical activities has a problem for some team members because not everyone can participate. But you can think of other ones such as treasure hunting, making a video, air ballooning, cooking, things that will help your team come together. And these can be hosted both indoor and outdoor and won't cost the company as much. Workshops, preferably off-site, enables a group to focus on particular topics without interruption. In many situations, the most effective type of workshop is the one that involves everyone in forming collective goals and developing strategic or practical plans. This allows for members to feel like they have ownership in the plan and the ideas, and this creates a powerful movement within your team because everyone is part of the activities. Other types of workshops can help to build better relationship, mutual understanding, and help your company grow. So these are things like doing a personality test together, filling out questionnaires, problem solving big issues that the company is facing, looking at customer interaction forms. Ask how you can provide better customer service and come up with ways to improve the company as a whole. You can also investigate technology and changes and look at what each generation brings to the table. So workshops is a great way for team building to happen, but it has to be employee-led. So creating activities where people can brainstorm, where they can come up with ideas, where they can have a physical interaction with each other, break up into little groups, have discussions, build something. This is a great way for people to get together. These are often the most cost-effective form of team building activities. Because they are low cost and high impact, it is often important to make sure that people mix, especially with larger groups. Otherwise, people will stick to their friends and the people that they know in the company. So here we can think of things like a team lunch, something where you can drink something together, evening meals or a barbecue, a family picnic, or a quiz night. Social events can be organized for very little cost and are like oil to the engine. Because they can have a great social interaction, it's just a better way for people to connect because it's not just related to work or problem solving. So think how great it would be if you make use of the different types. So maybe for the 1 month you have a workshop and then upcoming you have a social event. So it's always mixing things up so it stays fresh and people are having fun. So here, why not choose to do something that has benefits to the community? Achieving something worthwhile can help unite your group even more. It means that people are investing in something that they truly care about. So it's not just about the company. And they can come in and say, I would like to help underprivileged children. And as a unit, you can say, we all want to get involved. This means that people truly care about it. They feel like they are making a difference and they have this shared experience where they did this together. So this is a great idea, and you can ask for charities that they already are involved in, and you can make use of those, or you can select a new one based on what you guys are interested in. Having a day off-site or doing something that is fun may have a short-term impact, but to improve communication, you need long-term improvement. You may need to introduce new work practices, such as creating a new way for team meetings to be hosted, job swapping, new team letters, an open door policy, and psychological safety. So things where you have new work practices to create better team building events and a united team. It can be beneficial to combine team building events with individual training. But is the group receiving training and everyone within that individual group? This has a dual benefit of developing the individuals whilst going through the experience collectively. Such courses we can look at would be communication, persuasion, negotiation, technical training. Because you took the course here at Shaw Academy, you already have a lot of these toolkit items, so you will be the ideal person to host a lot of these meetings. Because you have the theoretical knowledge, you already made use of the lesson challenges, and you have practical experiences. So as you can see, everything is again tying back into everything we give you at Shaw Academy is practical, and we want to upskill you so you can go back to your team and to your job and you can make use of these tools. So let's look at team building companies to know. So if you're thinking of outsourcing or just looking at examples, go look at these companies, do a bit of research and look at what they have on offer. So this is according to Snack Nation. Team building events don't plan themselves. Too often, the person or team responsible for planning events ends up missing out on the events. They're going to run around, make sure everything is going smoothly, and not end up attending. So Go Game allows companies to outsource planning team building events. This way, everyone can be involved and make sure that everyone is having fun. They also offer a virtual team building experience called Go Remote that provides all the same excitement than the in-person event. So this is a great format for times where you cannot come together as a team, you don't have everyone in the same location, and it is a great way to cut down on costs in terms of gas, accommodation, and saving time. So when is best to use this? Well, busy teams who want to be flexible to engage in team building any place, any time. Next up, Let's Roam takes team building fun very, very seriously. An exploration and adventure company. The team building offers more development specifically towards corporate team minds. The company events packs each custom event with activities, challenges proven to boost morale, increase communication, spark collaboration, and foster employee happiness. They offer 2 equal fun building event options. So first off is a corporate team building scavenger hunt. There's adventure everywhere and everyone has to get the items together. So it's an epic city tour where there are fun things hidden and you have to communicate and problem solve in order to come up with a solution. So for virtual team building events, they have the following option. What happens when you combine fun online games with built-in video conferencing technology? Well, you see remote team building magic. Let's Roam Virtual Team Builder was designed specifically with remote teams in mind. Things like trivia, charades, let's draw, all are the great games that they have in mind to help you with your remote team building. So what kind of team would be ideal for using technology like this? For fun-loving teams seeking a one-on-one kind of experience that is tailored to the needs and the goals of your team. Whether your remote team wants to spice it up with virtual competitions or an office is hungry to explore, Let's Roam is an option that can fit your team perfectly because they give so many different options. Team building is essential to increase motivation, maximize productivity, and encourage positivity. However, with all of that, your team building activity has to be fun, and no one brings fun quite like the escape game. Their one-of-a-kind escape rooms make for amazing in-person team building activities and are also offered to virtual team building experiences with the escape game remote adventure. Be warned, you're going to love this and you will want to be back. So who is this best for? Teams of any size, located in one place or different spots around the world, and teams who want to share experiences to bring each other together and build skills that can translate back into the office. And with that, I have one more that I would like to go over with you. Since 1997, Summit has been helping teams grow and companies flourish. Designed specifically for corporate audiences, Summit delivers a unique blend of content and experience by highly trained, fun, and professional facilitators. Select from entertaining team building events, engaging training workshops, and inspiring, insightful keynote presentations. So this is best for small to large teams who want high quality sessions designed around engagement. So here you have different options. You have an in-person option, virtual options. The more online options we have, the more it means that we can access these resources anywhere in the world. Next up, I want to do a quick case study. So let's look at the best practices from different well-known companies and how they approach team building within that. According to Aspiring Gentleman, Uber. We all know Uber is an advanced company in terms of company culture, operations, and technology. Furthering their success is their mindset of highly valuing company team building events. Uber does many different activities, but one of the most interesting is their game night, where they have a music video competition with the Go Game team. So here we have an example of a company who is actually using the company that we already talked about and the resources that they had. This causes people to let go of workplace drama, let loose and have fun. When they return to their office, they feel like they are operating at a new level. They feel like they are more open. Disney, Kraft, Home Depot, Volvo, etc. These massive companies and more use the company Team Building USA to help them organize activities. The companies build their team morale and productivity through events such as scavenger hunts, charity events, murder mystery games, canoeing, and various icebreakers. This is a great example of great variety of massive companies using multiple different types of team building to increase productivity. Different than your usual team building exercise, this Phoenix digital marketing agency has frequent game nights with all their employees. The game nights can vary and have things like mini golf, ping pong, Monopoly, Settlers of Catan, and Connect 4. The office has a master of games trophy to the winner of the game night that keeps the morale going, and it is proudly displayed on your desk. Each game night is an opportunity for friendly competition as everyone tries to win and keep that trophy. Even these simple games allow employees to socialize, team up, and ultimately bond because they would like to win. Companies like Adidas, Google, BP, and Yahoo, all of these massive companies make use of a team building organization called Catalyst Team Building to help them put up their different team activities. The company helps businesses to do more organization events like building puzzles, becoming an orchestra, building a race car, and constructing enormous pictures. Catalyst's goal is to get the employees to work together doing various fun activities, so they leave stronger as a group. Case studies are a great way for us to learn about the best practices within the industry. I recommend looking at big companies within your industry and looking at what they're currently doing. It will help you to select team building events for your company and also learn from what they're doing. Okay guys, it is that time of the lesson. Please sit back, have a quick brain break. I recommend pausing the video here, having a bit of a stretch, or go get something to drink. Okay, welcome back. We're going to move on to the second half of the lesson. Teamwork begins by building trust. Virtual team building exercises can help remote teams to overcome these difficulties. They can help build rapport, improve communication, and increase co-workers' understanding of one another's strengths and weaknesses. They can reduce feelings of isolation and drive a sense of community and shared understanding. But why is virtual team building so important? Teams can find it difficult to build rapport if they've never met in real life. But developing good working relationships is important for individuals to feel able to communicate openly, solve problems, and collaborate well. It can also help to reduce feelings of loneliness and isolation. While some individuals view team building exercises as a waste of time, studies have shown that it improves teams' effectiveness and can help a team trust. These exercises can equally be as effective for virtual teams. But selecting virtual team building is not that easy, so let's look at the things that will impact your decision. So when selecting virtual team building, we're going to look at two things. One, purpose, and two, platform. According to MindTools, there are a huge number of team building exercises. So how do you decide which ones are most appropriate for your team and the platform that you intend to use? Start by defining your purpose and the objectives. For example, do you want to improve communication, build trust, introduce your global team members to one another, or increase productivity? It's essential that the outcome of the exercises meets your objective and that it promotes individual and team growth. Next, you have to think of your platform. So where do you want to host these team building or virtual team building events? For example, there are a lot of benefits when it comes to using things like Skype, Microsoft, Google, but you have to select the correct one for your team, the amount of people in your team, and their connection. So like we said in the previous lessons, meeting virtually has a lot of benefits, but also a lot of drawbacks. So you have to think of communication, you have to think of the internet speed, their videos, what happens if their connection is not great. So it all comes down to how you're going to host this virtual meeting space. Now that you know more about team building and virtual team building, we're going to move on to the more practical side when it comes to team building. It's not as easy as saying, Okay, I love the idea of team building. We're going to do team building now. You have to think about how are you going to measure the effectiveness? How do you know if team building is correct? And how is it going to improve things? So let's look at the practical side. If you make use of team building, what comes next? According to Feet First Events, to correctly measure the success of a team building session, you need to have a plan and baseline metrics. A good plan focuses in on any issues you would like to address with your employees or with one department specifically. The team building professionals you decide to work with can help you to create targets, and with that, you're going to create a plan and a measurement system. As your baseline metrics, you may already have these, but just not realized it yet. For example, you know that your shipping department processes and ships 20 orders per hour, and your goal is to increase that production. Then use that as a baseline to measure the effectiveness of your team building program. Your goals always need to be in line with your baseline metrics if you want to get the accurate measurements. So with this, we're going to look at two specific things: measuring the stages and moving forward. So we're going to look at each one in depth in the upcoming slides. So first off, measuring in stages. One of the biggest misconceptions about team building is that it's a one-time investment and that should show immediate and long-lasting results. The truth is that team building is an ongoing investment and can show immediate results, but the true measurement of success in that program is the sustained results that you get. The initial benefits of these types of programs can be sudden bursts of enthusiasm and potentially dramatically rise in productivity. And if you don't make use of team building again, you won't see the increase in productivity long term. So let's look at measuring in stages. When your employees get back to the office the first workday after completing a team building program, there will be a lot of positive energy floating around, and that will result in a dramatic boost in productivity. At this stage, you may see a dramatic difference between your baseline metrics and the number you recorded on the first business day back. While these numbers might not be sustainable, it's a great way to see immediate return on your investment with the momentum created by the team building experience, but they will settle back into their groove as soon as they come back for the second week. At that point, you can get a better idea as to how much improvement you have received based on the team building exercise and how much return you're getting on your investment. A month after the team building exercise is when you take your final readings to see how much sustainable productivity the experience has generated. This is where you can determine how much more team building your employees need to reach the ultimate goal you created when you first put the plan together. So measuring here really comes down to the baseline you set right at the beginning when you set your initial goals. So that baseline will tell you throughout all the stages how things are going and then help you to set future plans. Now that you know the results and you used your baseline to measure the in-month progress after the team building, you're ready to move forward. You're going to look at the total financial return that you got from the team building event. This will help you to build future plans and budgets to see how much you can spend on the team building events and how much you can spend on the different types. Next, track the results. So if you are going to continue with team building events, you want to create the same measurement system that you used for the previous team building event. This will help you track your budget, see the overall financial returns, and it will help you to convince your stakeholders of why it's so important to create team building events. And finally, because you have the proven results of what happened within your team, you can take it to the rest of the company and you can expand with the wonderful initiative that you have with the budgets and the results because it worked. Now, let's look at some team building ideas and activities that I have ready for you guys. First off, the code of conduct. According to work, a simple but meaningful activity that sets the tone for an event and builds consensus on shared values. Teams list what matters to them on a whiteboard, perfect for the start of an event or workshop. You can make use of 10 to 30 participants. This activity will take up to 30 minutes. And the objective is to build mutual trust and values. So how does this work? Well, on a whiteboard, write down the words meaningful and pleasant. Ask everyone in the group to shout out what will make this workshop meaningful and pleasant. Alternatively, ask them to write down their ideas on sticky notes. Then, record each participant's suggestion in the form of a mind map. For each suggestion, ensure that all participants have the same understanding of the idea. If not, change the suggestion until the consensus is reached for all participants. Go through each suggested item and ask participants how they would ensure that the idea is carried out during the workshop. Record these on the whiteboard and on the sticky notes. The ideas mutually agreed upon are pleasant and meaningful, make up the code of conduct for the group. The group has the responsibility to uphold this code of conduct throughout the remainder of the workshop. I think this is a great way to set the tone for your workshop, to get everyone in the same mindset before going on to any team building activity, because you start off with the right tone. Let's have a look at another activity. Here we have the peak performance activity, according to Dream Team. So Peak Performance is a really cool interactive game, and it's going to create this environment where people have to be imaginative, be creative, and go through this story that they have to participate in. It can be up to 8 participants. It's going to take 1 to 3 hours to complete, and this is an indoors activity. The idea is to create effective communication, problem solving, and risk management. So let me take you through the scene. During a 20-day expedition, teams aim to guide their clients to the top of Mount Everest and then safely back to base camp. They must consider a range of factors, including the client's fitness levels, weather, the best route to get up there, the use of oxygen, pitching tents, and strategies to outwit other teams in order to win. Key information is delivered to their teams on a tablet each day of the expedition. Teams race against each other. Teams race against the other teams to make swift yet intelligent and sober decisions. Teams who procrastinate will be locked into a less than ideal path and unable to move. Along the way, teams complete a series of activities and challenges, as well as including time pop-up tents, pack bags, blindfold climbing harnesses. Team must also decide on what their guide will have to carry: tents, oxygen, or clients. Clients gain more points for their team and they move higher up the mountain peak. The Peak Performance is an emotionally gripping experimental learning tool which has been designed to change people's understanding of attitude towards many aspects of life, business, and pleasure. Research shows that gamifying methodology enables participants to experience learning in less time and with long-lasting results. Following the team building experience, participants usually reflect observations to identify what occurred during the exercise. They were invited to parallel these observations to real-life circumstances. In doing so, participants are able to make permanent, effective changes to their behavior. I hope you guys liked a few of the team building ideas and companies mentioned during the lesson. I hope that you are finding it useful and that it allowed you to research more with the gained insight. Before we say goodbye, let's just review some housekeeping slides. Well done for making it to lesson 5 of this module. You are so close to finishing. I want to say thank you to each and everyone for the amount of work and effort you're putting into each lesson. For today's lesson challenge, please create your own team building workshop or activity. You can use the existing events or create your own. If you would like to use an existing one, make changes to ensure that it fits the need of your team and team size. You are 3 lessons away from completing your professional diploma. Keep pushing and make sure that you are reaching your goals. Thank you all and have a wonderful day.